If you enjoy diving into deep, thought-provoking ideas, you're in the right place. The Shadow of the Idea brings powerful insights from philosophy, psychology, and history. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us grow and deliver even more mind-expanding content. Is it better to be feared or loved? Machiavelli's controversial answer. What makes a great leader? Is it kindness, compassion, and the ability to inspire love? Or is it strength, control, and the ability to command fear? This question has puzzled rulers, philosophers, and thinkers for centuries, and no one tackled it more controversially than Niccolò Machiavelli. In his famous work The Prince, Machiavelli shattered the myth of idealistic leadership and gave us a brutally honest take on power. It's far safer to be feared than loved. But what did he really mean by this? Was he advocating tyranny? Or was he simply revealing a harsh but unavoidable truth about human nature? 1. The dilemma of leadership, fear versus love. Leadership is one of the oldest and most discussed topics in history. What makes a leader great? Is it their ability to inspire love and loyalty, or is it their strength and ability to command fear? This question has been asked for centuries, and many great thinkers have tried to answer it. At the core of leadership, there's always a balancing act. A leader must find a way to gain respect and loyalty from their followers. But the challenge is how to do this. Some argue that a leader should be kind, compassionate, and loved by those they lead. Others believe that a leader must be strong, commanding, and at times feared. This brings us to the famous debate between fear and love in leadership. What does it mean to be loved as a leader? And what does it mean to be feared? The power of love in leadership. Love in leadership can be understood as the deep respect and admiration a leader receives from their followers. When a leader is loved, their people trust them. They are loyal, and they are willing to follow the leader because they feel a genuine connection. People will work hard because they believe in their leader's vision and care about their success. Think about some leaders in history who were loved by their people. Leaders like Mahatma Gandhi or Nelson Mandela inspired immense love and admiration. They led through compassion, fairness, and a strong sense of justice. People loved them because they believed in their cause and saw their leader as a symbol of hope and freedom. Being loved as a leader often creates a strong bond, but love can also be unpredictable. People may love you today, but if you make a mistake, that love can quickly turn to disappointment. Love is emotional, and emotions change. What happens if the people who loved you no longer see you in the same light? Can you still lead with authority? The power of fear in leadership. On the other hand, fear in leadership is often misunderstood. It doesn't mean a leader is cruel or violent. Fear, as Machiavelli explains, is about creating respect through power. A leader who is feared is one who can command authority, even when things aren't perfect. Fear gives a sense of control and stability. It makes people think twice before they act against the leader's wishes. Why is fear important? Fear is dependable. People may not always love their leaders, but they will still follow them if they fear the consequences of disobeying. It's much harder to break a fear-based bond than a love-based one. While love can fade, fear can keep people in check. Think of historical figures like Napoleon Bonaparte or Julius Caesar. These leaders were feared by their enemies and their own people at times. Their power was built on strength, and their control over the people was secured because they knew how to instill fear. But did they show cruelty? Not necessarily. Fear isn't always about being harsh. It's about showing the power to act decisively when needed. The struggle of leadership, finding balance. The dilemma between fear and love in leadership isn't just about choosing one over the other. It's about finding the right balance. A great leader needs to know when to inspire love and when to use fear. Leaders can be loved for their vision, their values, and their kindness. But in times of crisis or conflict, they may need to rely on fear to maintain control and keep order. For example, during times of war, a leader may need to make tough decisions that may not be popular. They may need to take actions that some may view as harsh, but necessary for the survival of the group. In such moments, the fear of disobedience becomes a tool for maintaining stability. However, leaders who rely too much on fear risk becoming tyrants. Their power may be questioned, and their ability to lead may weaken over time. A leader who is too feared may face rebellion or resistance, as people begin to see them as a threat rather than a protector. On the other hand, leaders who rely only on love can become vulnerable. They may struggle to make tough decisions because they fear losing the affection of their followers. In times of difficulty, they might hesitate, unsure of whether to take a hard stance. If their followers start to lose faith in their leadership, they might face challenges in maintaining control. Why the dilemma is important. The question of whether it is better to be feared or loved is critical because it addresses the core of leadership dynamics. A leader's approach affects not only how they are perceived, but also how effective they can be in achieving their goals. If a leader can master the delicate balance between love and fear, they are more likely to maintain their power and influence for the long term. But if they lean too far in one direction, they risk losing everything. This is why Machiavelli's argument, which we'll explore in the next part, is so powerful and controversial. His ideas challenge our conventional views on leadership, forcing us to reconsider what it really takes to rule. To Machiavelli's argument, why fear is more reliable. In The Prince, Niccolò Machiavelli makes a bold, even controversial claim. It is better for a leader to be feared than loved. But why does Machiavelli argue this, and what does he mean by it? To understand his reasoning, we need to explore his view of human nature and power. Machiavelli believed that people are unpredictable and often act out of self-interest. He argued that human nature tends to prioritize personal gain and short-term satisfaction, which makes love an unreliable foundation for leadership. A leader may be loved for their generosity, kindness, or charisma, but love can be easily swayed by circumstances. People's affection can fade or be replaced by resentment when their needs are no longer met. In contrast, fear is constant and more controllable. Why? Because fear is rooted in the threat of pain or punishment, which creates a sense of obligation and respect. If people fear their leader, they are less likely to challenge their authority or rebel. Fear also reinforces authority. When a leader is feared, their decisions are taken seriously. This fear does not have to come from cruelty or oppression. It could come from a reputation for being strong, decisive, or unyielding. Machiavelli made it clear that fear must be managed carefully. A leader should not be cruel to the point of hatred, as this could lead to resentment and even rebellion. Instead, the goal is to inspire a controlled, disciplined fear, one that ensures respect and obedience without crossing into tyranny. In addition, fear provides a sense of stability. When a leader is feared, people are more likely to comply with rules, avoid chaos, and maintain order. This stability is crucial in maintaining power. Love, on the other hand, can lead to complacency, disloyalty, or weak leadership if the leader becomes too dependent on affection. So, in Machiavelli's eyes, fear is a more reliable tool for maintaining control, ensuring loyalty, and upholding order. It creates a firm foundation on which a leader can build authority, while love is fickle and may not hold up in the long run. In essence, fear provides consistency, while love is often fleeting. 3. The modern implications of Machiavelli's philosophy. Machiavelli's ideas about leadership, fear, and love are not just relevant to the past. In fact, they remain deeply significant in our modern world, from politics to business, and even in our personal lives. Let's explore how Machiavelli's philosophy continues to shape leadership today. Machiavelli in modern politics. In today's political landscape, we can see clear examples of Machiavelli's views in action. Leaders across the world still grapple with the dilemma of whether to be loved or feared. Machiavelli's argument that fear is more reliable often plays out in authoritarian regimes where leaders use fear to maintain power. Tactics such as censorship, surveillance, and punishment are used to keep the population in line. These leaders may not be loved by their people, but the fear they inspire ensures control. In democracies, leaders also use fear, though in subtler ways. Fear of consequences, fear of public scrutiny, or fear of political failure often keeps politicians in check. In modern political campaigns, leaders may use fear to rally support, framing issues in ways that prompt fear of external threats or social unrest. While love and approval are important, fear is still a crucial tool for maintaining authority and power. Machiavelli in business. In the business world, Machiavelli's ideas also apply. CEOs and managers often face the choice between being liked by their employees or maintaining authority through fear. While creating a positive, motivating workplace is important, fear of failure, deadlines, and consequences can drive performance and results. Some leaders in high-pressure industries use fear as a tool to ensure that their teams meet expectations and push their limits. However, over-relying on fear can lead to burnout and resentment. The best leaders strike a balance between respect and fear, creating environments where employees feel both motivated and secure. The fear of failing to meet goals can drive people to work harder, but it's the balance that makes fear an effective tool. Machiavelli in personal relationships. Machiavelli's ideas also extend to personal relationships. Parents, teachers, mentors, and others in leadership roles often struggle with the balance between being feared and being loved. While we may want to be loved and admired, sometimes authority and respect, rooted in fear, are necessary to maintain order and teach important lessons. In our personal lives, fear of consequences often drives people to make responsible decisions. This is why leadership grounded in a healthy balance of love and fear can create stronger, more sustainable relationships. Too much reliance on either love or fear can weaken the connection, but a mix of both can lead to respect and lasting influence. The dark side of fear-based leadership. Despite the effectiveness of fear, it's important to recognize its dangers. Too much fear can lead to resentment, distrust, and even rebellion. Machiavelli himself cautioned against cruelty, and modern leaders must be mindful of this. Fear, when used excessively, can corrupt and lead to authoritarian rule. Leaders should avoid crossing the line into tyranny. Ultimately, Machiavelli's ideas remind us that power is complex. While fear may provide stability, love, loyalty, and trust still play crucial roles. Leaders who can balance both elements, inspiring respect through fear and loyalty through love, are the ones most likely to maintain control in the long run. Machiavelli's controversial view on leadership, preferring fear over love, remains relevant today, offering profound insights into power dynamics across politics, business, and personal relationships. Fear provides a stable foundation for control and respect, but it must be handled with care. Excessive fear leads to resentment, while love fosters loyalty and trust. The key is balance. A leader who combines both can inspire loyalty and maintain authority. Machiavelli's philosophy reminds us that leadership is complex, and understanding human nature is essential for those who seek to lead effectively. If you found this video insightful, please like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts below. Your support means the world and helps us create more engaging content. Thanks for being part of the shadow of the idea. Together, let's continue exploring deep, thought-provoking ideas.